pretty major at this point. Like it's down the whole side of the block and...
Well, take the engine out.
That's exactly right. Do you open the can of worms, which is...
The engine.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the logical step for you from here is to...
All right, welcome back to Aussie Arvos. Now, you guys know I look through my four-wheel drive with rose-colored glasses. As long as it's moving forward and not making bad noises, I don't do a ton of mechanical work to this, especially after all the big trips we've been doing. But you would have seen recently, it's been causing me a few issues. Things have been starting to break when I really don't want them to, and this is not only becoming costly, but it's ruining my trips. So today, I've got myself a qualified mechanic, Dan, who's gonna help me go over the car, work out what's wrong, what needs replacing, and ultimately how much all of this is gonna cost me. And to figure all this out, I've come up with this. It is a simple 3-category chart for every aspect of the vehicle. We've got in the green, she'll be right, keep an eye on it, and that's stuffed. So I've got Dan here to hopefully help go through this. And Dan, you gotta be ruthless, you gotta be honest.
That's it, mate. I don't know how much is going to be in the green section. I reckon we might have to push the red out a little bit.
But yeah, hopefully it's all okay, fingers crossed. But let's get up on the hoist and get right into it. Now, I want to remind you too that every bit of mechanical work on this car I've done by myself. It's never been to a mechanic in all my years of ownership, and that might just cost me everything today. All right, so we've got the 80 series up on the hoist. The mission now is to pretty much go around and find something wrong with it. So we'll see how long it takes Dan. I do think there's, like, I don't...
Found it.
So wheel bearings.
Wheel bearing.
Yeah, so...
I can get that on the camera. It's not horrible, but it's not fantastic.
With the other week, Liam and I were heading away on a family vacation, and we were going to take this car, and we went to go do a tyre rotation, and that wheel was about to fall off again. That's the one that your bush mechanic repaired.
Remember when I said temporary fix about 17 times?
Yeah, exactly. It stayed there for quite a while. We did, Murray Sunset in it. We did the high country, the snow in it. It did a fair bit, but it's got to the point where it is not holding anymore. So I think first of all, front axle, I think swivel hub rebuild.
Oh yeah?
I think it's going to need it. Definitely need a new spindle on that side, as we saw from the previous video.
Yeah, of course.
And then if you're doing that side, you're dropping diff oil and stuff, you may as well do the other. I did this swivel hub rebuild about 3 years ago, and it held up well. Like, they're not actually leaking yet. Like,
No,
it's actually...
I think the thing is, like, for what you've thrown the car up and the weight on those swivel hubs, they're always going to wear out. It's just a thing.
Yeah, exactly right.
If you had normal sized tyres on it, no weight in the car, and you were dropping the kids off at school every day, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But when you're bouncing it up rock ledges and it's, up on weight, it's just more weight on those bearings.
100%. Let me know in the comments, like when we moved to 35-inch tyres, I swear the wheel bearings were going loose like a substantial amount quicker than what they were previously.
That's, I think, something a lot of people don't think about. Like the further you go out in a tyre, sure, it's great for clearance, but it's more leverage on everything.
Well, exactly.
So your axle housings themselves, and your swivel hubs, your wheel bearings, the whole lot. It's just more leverage. All the steering components, all the arms, everything's. I mean, they'll do it, obviously, but yeah, the bigger the tyre, the more load you put on everything.
That's it. Here.
Come on, mate.
I think you're gonna have to leave yourself some more room on that list there.
Yeah, smaller font.
I wouldn't write it that big.
Smaller font or a bigger whiteboard. Do you want to grab some big multi-grips and you want to do tie rod ends and...
I was really hoping Dan was going to look at it and like, oh, it's fine. Set it down back on the
No, that's what you say. I'm the one who sees the problems. And we're just going to see if there's any play in these. That's pretty good. That's fine, yeah. So what you're looking for is there'll always be movement like left to right. It has to have that. But if you can squeeze it and watch that whole knuckle move up and down, it's like a ball in a seat. So if it's worn out, there'll be heaps playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steering dampener, fine. Like all your suspension stuff is
pretty new.
Yeah,
so
that's the newest part of the car.
That's it.
So we're pretty confident suspension stuff is going to be sweet.
Yep.
I will check it anyway.
So I can write tie rod or drag link on the she'll be right.
Yes, it's in the good section.
Hopefully more of that.
Let's see. Let us know in the comments, what do you reckon? If you're at this point of the video, which list's going to be the longest? I mean, you already know what I think, but we'll see. Now, as I said, all this componentry is new anyway, but I'm just going to do a quick spanner check on these to make sure none of that's coming loose, because they can, as they're bouncing up everything, wind themselves loose.
See, these are things that I've never even considered really checking on a car, and it's things that you probably should do if you don't want to have a massive costly accident.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that bolt comes out, I mean, really, if one comes out,
Yeah.
you'll probably be all right. If both are loose, it's, yeah. Lovely, all right.
Mate, that doesn't even need to go on the board.
No,
just
that's
fixed.
it. That's just like that. All right, that's good. I guess we'll look at brakes. Talking of front axle.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a fair bit left on them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pads are fine. Discs are muddy and rusty and usual, but that's the thing with four-wheel drives. Like, you can put a brand new disc on, drive it through one bog hole, and
Well, that's
they
it.
look terrible.
You-
Those are actually pretty good. Drive shaft unis. Oh, and a drip. Before I even get to drive shaft unis, what is this? Engine oil or diesel? Engine oil. We'll get to that. We'll get to
Yeah.
engine. We'll
That's a whole
we'll
nother
focus on
category.
driveline, and then we'll worry about that later. All right, drive shaft unis. Now with these, I usually just check for playing them. They're a cross, so either way on those crosses, that's fine. Tiny bit in the slip join, but not much. I'd say that's fine.
It's like being at a doctor's appointment. You have someone say, "No, you're okay.
Yeah.
No diabetes, no that. Thank God."
Just a bit of play in that spline. Not heaps. So this slip join is a spline
Yep.
that runs in and out.
Yep.
And there's a bit of play in the slip joint itself, but if you look at, you might barely see it, but see there's a bit of play
Oh yeah, I can. You know,
in rotation.
Yeah.
It's not horrible, but
So what's that? What's worn
well,
down
it might
there?
be starting to wear the splines.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, like the more it moves in and out under load, which obviously it does when you're four-wheel driving,
Yeah.
the more it's going to wear the splines
Yeah,
out.
of
Like
course.
it's not
Yeah.
horrible, but
It is something. It
Yeah.
goes on the keep an eye on it.
yeah, keep an eye on it list. I think if you were to be doing unis or something, you
Yeah.
just take it apart and have a look at it when you're
Okay.
there. It's not horrible. You haven't done this diff, have you?
I haven't done the pinion.
It's not horrible, but there's a bit of play in that pinion bearing there, yeah. Not heaps, but good excuse to put a locker in the back. Yeah, surprisingly, drive shaft unis seem sweet. You've never done
I've
them
never
either,
done
have
them.
you? Yeah,
I've
right.
never done them.
That's good. All right. What else? We'll go rear arms, I suppose. Rear suspension. Ah, I found something.
Oh no.
It's all right. It's not major. Look, here we go.
Oh, I can see
Same
another one.
same situation as the front end.
Ah, yes.
Hey, did you do that up, or did Liam do it up originally?
Don't know.
These bushes themselves, fine because they're pretty new, aren't they?
Yeah, I did them when I did the lift to 3-inch. Yeah, we did a lift.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all new anyway, so they're fine. Shock bushes, again, new. Shocks are new. Well, that's good. You're halfway there, because most of the time under the older 4Bs, it's like, usually sway bar link bushes are just mushroomed and
Oh, yeah,
hanging out the
exactly right.
sides, not
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
anything. And yeah, your shock bushes and that, you tend to see them just pretty flogged out. So
Yeah. So it's a
That's
good
all
big
pretty
tick
good.
for suspension,
big
pretty
tick
much.
for suspension. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep. Brake lines, again, which I should have checked on the front diff, so we'll go back and check that one, but they're new as well, aren't they?
Yes,
Because you did them with the
they're
lift.
new braided
Yep.
ones to suit the lift, yeah.
Again, super common, put a 4B on the hoist, goes up, brake line's like a piano string, just...
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good, heaps of play in that, so that's not getting stretched. Rear brakes, have you done these recently? Rear
I have done new rear brakes,
wheel bearing leak.
but yes, there was a puddle.
See that? Yeah, well, so you can see where it's been dripping.
Yeah,
So that's gear oil from the diff.
yeah,
Yep. So you've done an axle seal on this side,
yeah.
and that's
yeah.
dripping out, coating the brakes, and then where it's parked, it's obviously ran down, but yeah, it'll get worse. That goes on the red list, I reckon.
That stuff. So I'm due
Yeah.
for bearings front and rear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes.
Unheard of. I wouldn't even know what a patrol rear wheel bearing looks like.
They're massive.
Would
Yeah.
you believe that I actually did the rear wheel bearings like 2 years ago?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But maybe the axle seal, something happened, or
Yeah.
I don't know. But to be fair, like, doing a lot of river crosses in this car. Like, it's constantly submerged,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
submarine.
Yeah.
And I think stuff just does wear out. If I just drove it to Coles and back, it probably wouldn't wear out a lot of the components.
Another one to check, and this is probably good for a lot of people,
Yeah.
if you find you've done an axle seal,
Yeah.
pull your your diff breather off,
Yeah.
and you've run breathers in this.
Yeah, yeah.
But just gently put some compressed air up the breather line,
Yeah.
and just make sure it actually breathes. Because if that
True.
blocks, and
Yeah, true,
normally
true.
it was a big thing with trucks, especially log trucks and that
Yeah.
are good for it,
Yeah.
they block the breathers with mud,
Yeah.
and then it pressurizes the diff. So every time it gets hot, A, it's going to try and blow its seals out,
Yeah.
which they will do, and B, when it's really hot and it's pressurized and it's sealed, then you go dunk it in a cold river, everything wants to pull, it pulls a vacuum,
Yep.
so it'll pull
Yep.
water in through the seals.
Yep, right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Make sure
Make sure your breathers are actually breathing.
breathing, okay, yeah.
Because it's very easy for like a hose to get pinched or, you know, blocked
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
So that's another good one. So that pretty much covers suspension and driveline from what we can see under the car. Everything's in pretty good nick. The Paddy does have a few pretty decent jobs to look at in both the front axle and the rear axle, but we'll get to that later. A major thing I want to look at, as we saw earlier, is there's a fair bit of oil under the car here. Not the worst I've seen, but certainly cause for concern. So obviously everything's coming down from the top. I'm tipping you're going to be up for at least a rear main seal, because there is a bit dripping off the bottom of the bell housing here.
Yep.
The best way I've always found is to diagnose this is to just wash the thing to start with, because you have to, it's gravity, right? Oil is going to run down. It could be a leaky rocker cover, and I've known people that have had a leaky rocker cover leaking at the back, misdiagnosed it, pulled the whole gearbox to do a rear main, done the rear main, only to find that it was just a rocker cover leaking in the first place. So,
Well, I can say that when we got the car ice blast underneath, the leak started from here and here, which points towards rear main.
Yeah, correct.
I think,
Because it is fairly dry up the sides of the bell housing.
Yeah.
It's wet at that breather port at the bottom and back here. So
Yeah.
I'd be looking for this at either rear main in the engine or the input shaft seal on the gearbox as well. So depending on...
Which I've never done a clutch before in my car, so I feel like if you're doing it all together might be the...
Yes, generally if you're gonna... The oil will have half cooked the clutch anyway.
Yeah,
So the oil will have made the clutch start slipping. And once it gets... It's like a brake pad material. Once it gets in the material, you can't really wash it out. You can try, but it's never right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be doing rear main, clutch, the whole lot again while you're at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess before we get too involved in that, we'll put the car down on the hoist and see where the rest of the oil leaks are coming from. Because there's a bit at the back, there's a bit on this side, and there's a bit on the other side. So I guess we'll open the bonnet and have a look from there.
This is the expensive part. Expensive part of the car.
Yep.
So where do we first start?
Well, as soon as you open the bonnet, I can already see it's shiny on top, so that's not a good start. I want to see where all that oil leak down this side of the engine is coming from.
Yeah.
So as I said, we'll start at the top because...
You've never had a good look at this engine bay.
No, Paddy never wanted me to look under here. He didn't want to hear the bad news. Is that diesel or oil? I reckon that's either intake leak. It doesn't smell like diesel, so it can't be injectors. It's either rocker cover, intake leak, or like, no, I don't think it'd be out the side of the head gasket. It'd be bad if it was.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
If you have a look in here, it'll be oily. I mean, you can even just see around the edge of this,
Yeah,
like...
it's wet.
Can I chime in, or is that not allowed?
No, you can chime in.
Well, what I might want to say is you might want to have a look at what's on the other side of the engine, perhaps. Look at the exterior of the turbo, and that might give you a pretty good idea where oil could be.
Yeah, true. Yes, I did see that from under the car. The whole turbo is rather greasy all around the whole compressor housing and everywhere. There's signs of oil all around the turbo.
See, the oil shouldn't be getting out of the... It should be staying inside and not coming...
Ideally, yes. Wise words from Patrick. Oil stay in engine. Okay. Just the fact that it's leaked sort of everywhere at the moment, you can't really see where it's coming from. It's like that whole side of the engine. It's just one big smear. Have you ever checked the bolts on top of the rocker cover?
Nope.
Nope.
I've never touched the engine. The engine's never been apart.
Wow.
Which I think leave the Toyota Magic inside, you know? You don't want to let it out.
I don't know, man. It's letting itself out. You just watch yourself if it doesn't let itself out all at once.
Yeah, well, that's... Yeah. That's the hard thing. It's like... I feel like the motor runs well, but obviously... There's something going on.
It's still pretty fuely. Like, it still smells pretty raw fuel.
Right.
I mean, obviously when it's cold,
Yeah,
but...
yeah.
Yeah, for having fresh injectors... Did you end up doing the pump on this?
Nah. The pump.
So fresh injectors, it's still pretty fuely, which to me would say maybe turbo isn't making as much boost as it should be.
Right, okay.
Or valves, like top-end valves not sealing properly.
Okay. Yep.
Obviously,
Yep.
your valves don't seal properly, you lose
Yep.
compression, compression's down, you don't burn the fuel,
Yep.
half it goes out the exhaust.
Yep.
Or, and this is the bad one for you, is like piston rings.
Yeah.
How worn are they?
Yeah.
So this is the game where you pull the intake manifold, you pull the head. I mean, I told you when you did the injectors to do the head.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do it then.
No, I did. I'm too scared to attempt a job like that. But maybe that's something we do have to do. But it just seems like, yeah, it's a big next step.
Well, the issue is once you take the head off, then you look down the barrels and you see how the pistons are, and then it's like, oh,
And then it's like a 20 grand rebuild.
you're better off just not knowing, yeah.
And
this is why the whiteboard's a thing, because Patrick's living in denial that there's anything wrong here. How many Ks has this done?
455.
It's getting on.
Yeah.
Well, take the engine out.
But that's exactly right. Do you open the can of worms, which is...
The engine.
Yes.
Yeah.
How deep do you go? How much money do you spend? Da-da-da-da-da.
I think the logical step for you from here is to degrease that, pressure wash that, try and get it as clean as you can so you can see where it's actually coming from, and then just run the car and see if you can see where the leak starts. Because there's that much oil there right now.
You can't tell.
It could be 10 different things.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, I'd be pulling maybe your crossover pipe off and seeing how much oil's coming out of your turbo, because I reckon there'll be a fair bit of oil coming out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you could pull the intake pipe off the end of the turbo and check how much play is in the turbo shaft itself.
Yeah.
Do you have a boost gauge?
I do.
Digital gauge?
Yep.
What's it register?
I get like 10 pound PSI.
Do you know what's factory for these?
I think it's around 10. Okay. From what it seems, the turbo's doing its job. You know,
Yeah.
when it comes on, it comes on. Maybe it does feel like it's a little slow to come on, but I feel like that's a factory turbo. But I don't know, maybe that's an efficiency issue.
Well, generally that's the thing. Like I've seen half-dead turbos still push 20 pound.
Yeah.
But they do it at like 2,000 RPM when they should be doing it at 1,500.
Right,
you know?
right.
So you can imagine, like anything, you get more play in the shaft or the bearings, then that wears the housings or the wheels, compressor wheel, for example. And then as you get more tolerance between the compressor wheel and the housing, or it just wears naturally from grit and that going through it, you'll lose that efficiency. So it'll still make full boost because a factory turbo like that is so, I don't want to say small, but they're very modest, right? Like they're made to come on boost at a nice range. They're not made to do anything crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's gated at 10 pound. It's not really working that hard. So it's always going to have enough exhaust gas to spin 10 pound, even if the turbo's half flogged.
Yeah,
basically.
right, okay.
So I'd be looking at, clean it up, see if you can see where the oil leak is, because it's pretty major at this point. Like it's down the whole side of the block and it's very wet under there. It might be intake manifold. Like it's definitely wetter under the intake than it is above it, I reckon. When it's like when we've been out Forbian, yours is very overfueled down low.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like it's blowing smoke and carrying on. And then as soon as it's up in the revs, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, given it's a factory pump and you haven't, done like TD things and
It shouldn't be that
fuel-y,
yeah,
right? It's a stock motor.
Yeah.
So it's either got too much fuel because someone's played with it in the past, which I don't think, but I think everything's factory on this.
Yeah.
You've got stock injectors, which are new, so you know it should be atomizing fine, unless the injector pump's bad and it's not getting enough pressure, which generally if you've done injectors, it should burn pretty well.
Yeah.
So is it not making boost down low when the fuel pump is tuned to make boost down low, is what I'd be looking at.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, to be honest, at this many Ks, I reckon if it is that intake gasket, like I said, check how much oil's in the intake, but I dare say you're up for a turbo at least. Like, I reckon that turbo is pretty...
Yeah, old. I don't think it's probably never been done.
No. And then the option is, well, do you get it rebuilt or do you just put a different one on?
Yeah, I've heard there's high flow options that people do, and you send it back and get it.
Get it. Yeah, that's what I think would be the best.
Send
option.
it in.
Keep
and
it
send
something
your one in.
reasonably stock-ish.
I think
like
I don't need any more power. Like I'm
need
pretty
more
happy
boost,
with what
just
it
something
is.
that's efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they've come a long way since these were made. Anyway, enough about your engine.
Yeah.
That's your little list for that.
Yeah, got that.
I reckon we start looking at some hoses and. Because that's what we've known in the past, Patrick.
Well, that's the little easy stuff that you really mess your trip up, can't it?
Correct.
Really.
So this is the hose we replaced on Billy
That's
Goats
right.
because it was cracked and brittle, and the ones around it weren't much better. You might look at replacing this hose.
Okay. Yep. So what's that hose called?
I'd call that power steer suction.
it's still the main thing you want to look at with hoses, right? And that's, remember when we took off that one on Billy Goats on high country, how brittle it was?
Yeah.
So they go, even though they might look all right, they go brittle from being hot all the time in an engine bay.
Yeah.
But if you can grab the hose like that and bend it, and it, you know, isn't creaking and cracking, and you know, you're generally pretty safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same with your radiator hoses. I mean, this has obviously been replaced anyway. So yeah, that's the other thing, like radiator lines are a good one for it, because these hoses, and that's what would have happened with this one.
Yeah.
Because these hoses don't move, they never have a real cause to crack. So they'll last a really long time, but because of that, they get, just because they're sitting in the one shape their whole life, they get brittle and hard, and then when you do move them, like maybe you go to change your oil filter or change another part and you're just pushing hoses around to get to it, that's when you'll damage them. And then next time you drive it, it'll let go.
Yeah.
Because they get so brittle. But you'll notice, like I've had hoses I've taken off oil coolers where you think it's holding 70, 100 PSI of hot auto fluid and it never leaks, but you take it off to replace it and literally just go snap. Snap it in half.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what they'll take when they don't have to move. And then you've got your pressure lines, your power steer as well, which is another major one. They look and feel fine as well. Have you ever done the timing belt on this?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, we did it. It's getting close to being due again. I think we did it, it would have been 70,000 Ks ago.
Okay, yeah.
I did just see that leak.
A drip.
A drip
A
from
drip
when
of
I squeezed
coolant.
the radiator. Yeah, did you see that?
Sure is. This hose looks very old and brittle. Has this been replaced? Or is
The tat's been replaced.
Yeah, well, if it's dripping under no pressure, it's definitely going to be dripping. So I'd be doing probably this hose,
Yep.
that bit of hose there,
Yep.
and that one back there, which looks like a real fun job to get at.
All right.
But it looks like those hoses have been done. You sure you haven't done any hoses? What about the ones over the other side there?
Nah, definitely. It's because it's been ice blast.
Yeah, they
It
look
looks
new.
brand new, but
But
they're all old.
They're shiny, they're not...
Yeah, it's because we ceramic coated it.
Oh,
That's why it looks
right,
all new.
yeah. They're just ceramic coated old rubber hoses.
Yeah.
All right, so I'd probably be doing probably all of those.
Okay,
See if you
heater-
can buy them as a set, to
All right,
be honest.
heater hose caps. Heater hose.
Like-
Yeah.
All right. That's enough staring at the oil leaks over there. Let's look at this side of the engine. So belts are a big one, but obviously you've done them with your normal servicing.
Yeah.
Engine fan, like we had the viscous hub on the Build Wars Patrol. That was bad, but this one's fine. And I always look at the fans themselves because they tend to crack in the bottom of where the blade's attached to the centre.
Yep.
Especially with mud, like the major thing, and I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know this because they've found out the hard way. The mud or water comes through the radiator, hits that fan, spinning flat out, and just shreds the blades off it.
Yeah.
The clutch master looks fine, but the brake master has a little bit of what looks like brake fluid leaking out around where the reservoir joins onto the master.
Yep.
So they're normally just like an O-ring or a odd-shaped rubber seal, and that just presses into the top. But yeah, as that rubber gets old and perishes, they'll leak.
Yep.
They drip brake fluid, and it's not so much a problem for you, but normally they drip on the body and then rust everything out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can see it's all rusty at the back there.
Yep.
So it might be leaking out the back of that master. But yeah, you said you had a new...
Yeah, I've actually got a new brake booster to put in.
Yeah.
So if we're doing that,
Yeah.
it might
I'd be
make
getting a new
sense
master
to-
cylinder at the
master
same
as well.
time.
Yep.
Then just replace the whole lot. Aircon alternator. Have you? Oh, you mucked around
That
with the
was
alternator recently,
new
didn't
4 months ago when Anya and I had to do it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all right.
you? That return is brittle as hell. So, that's just hose clamp.
So return line, power steering, return.
Just put steering box
return,
if
yep.
you want. Yeah.
This is good. We're finding things. You know. I mean, I could have been doing this, but it's just like sometimes you need someone who can come over and like point at your car and say, "Nah, that's cooked, mate. That's cooked." Especially, I don't know. Maybe just me. When it's your own car, you have this habit to think, "It's all right. It's fine."
It's like the go and joke of buying a second-hand car off a mechanic because you think it's been well maintained.
yeah. Well, that's it, exactly.
When it's your own car, it's like, I know that's a problem, but that's we'll worry about that later. So at least this way you get a list, and it's nothing like, I mean, obviously the wheel bearings and stuff,
Yeah,
you can
that's
do
pretty
straight
bad.
away, but the rest of it's not like, it's not going to fall off the road or
Yeah,
catch fire.
yeah.
It's just things to cross off the list.
Yeah.
And it is a good idea to get a list going like that. I find on any project, because you'll find you put your car in the shed and then you walk around in circles for 2 hours. But what should I do first? Whereas you just have a list, you go over, you go, right, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Steering box. Have you ever replaced the steering box in this?
No.
Because it's not leaking or anything, which is good. Steering shaft is fine, maybe. There's playing something.
It does make a click
click.
or a sound. Yeah,
I'll
okay.
just put that down, steering shaft. There's no play in the bearing on the steering box. Might be something internal to the steering box. But yeah, that might be something to look at. Steering box, question mark. Put it in the keep an eye on it section. All right, well that's pretty much everything we can look at visually covered. Maybe we might just put the car up so the wheels are just off the ground.
Yep.
And then we'll get you to start it.
Yep.
And we'll just have a listen to see if there's any tensioners or idlers or anything like that that's about to let go. Yeah, go on, mate. Kick it.
Chuck the aircon on
Yep.
and off. Just give it a little rev. Yep. Fine. Everything there's happy. Not even a sound.
Oh, that's good.
It's good, yeah.
Excellent.
Everything's running true.
See, how can you tear the motor open when it sounds like that, Dan?
I can smell half your fuel coming out the exhaust. So yeah, the main thing I was looking for there is either noisy tensioners and that, but also if any of them are like got a wonky, if they've got a wobble in them, you know, it's sometimes, usually you'll hear it first before anything else. Usually you'll hear a bearing starting to let go, but sometimes if you look at it, you'll see it like, especially with like I said, the viscous hubs or water pumps or things like that. So I find it's good to just get an eye on the end of the belt, and from there you'll be able to see if it's not running true. Yeah. But everything there's sweet.
Yeah, sweet. So there was one thing that actually only started happening on our most recent trip away of Anya. When I'm driving the car and I'm changing gears and going like in with the clutch and out with the clutch, it almost feels like there's something loose in the linkage or something between, or a clutch fork's being weird, because there's sort of this like clunk as you sort of come in and out of gears. Like something's loose or something. I don't know what it is, but I suppose it might be worth, either if I stay in the car and we put up on the hoist, and maybe you guys have a look while I just pretend to change through gears. And this could be, as we're talking about, you know, maybe having to do remain and everything, it could be another aspect that I could be that. You know,
clutch could be full of oil. The other thing to look at is engine mounts, gearbox mounts. See if anything's moving around there. All right, well, we'll chuck it back up on the hoist and
have a look.
Have another look underneath. All right, Paddy, I might just get you to go as if you're going like first to fourth through the gears. Use the clutch and everything. Just like you would, just without the car running.
Easy. All right. First. Bomb. Second. Yeah, it's not really the same without the load. I feel like the noise is really happening when I'm coming in and off the clutch.
Right.
It's like when I'm coming out of a gear and like I'm nearly at this point, like when I'm off it, it just sort of feels like it does like a little like click or something.
When it's loading and unloading.
When it's loading, Okay. I'd say it's more something to do with the clutch than your gear selection itself.
Right, okay,
Generally. There's dampener springs in the clutch itself. You've probably seen them if you had a clutch apart. They're usually like yellow or blue or painted some pretty colour. And they are there to take out like vibrations when you get off and on the clutch, and they dampen it. But when they get old, they flog out, and then the springs just sort of rattle around.
Right. It honestly could be something like that.
That's also clutch slave cylinder. The rubber boots come off it, and it's been getting mud and water into the actual piston. Do a clutch, do a slave cylinder as well. I generally would replace them when you do a clutch anyway, especially in a 4B where it's getting dragged through the mud.
Oh, also, Dan, while you're down there, do you want to check the body mounts? Because there was someone that commented on one of the videos, like we had a GoPro set up at the front end when it was doing hard off-roading, and you could actually see the body mount like moving.
Yeah, right.
So, and he's like, oh, you might want to check them. So maybe that's worth having a look.
In the front?
Yeah, front.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty plain to see when the car's up there. That rubber there should be moulded to that plate. But yeah, that's pulling up against that washer, which is what's stopping it right now from pulling right out. But that should be moulded, that rubber. So see how this one, see the washer's got that big gap there? So that's what the front one should look like. So there's like a 5mm gap there when it's under load. And it probably, it is meant to flex, but that washer's basically there as a safety to stop it pulling right out of the rubber bush. Yeah, they're looking pretty old. So that might go on the to-do list. Not so much of a hurry, but yeah, definitely something to look at. But I might just have a look at your gearbox and engine mounts while we're on the subject. I mean, it's half detached, but it's...
Oh yeah, it is torn.
That's
probably on the to-do list. It's not great. Yeah, that looks split. You can't see it, but it's in the top of up here. This whole thing's just in case it's split, so it can't dislocate. But up here, the rubber looks separated, yeah. Which if it's gonna separate, it'll do it on that side, because that's the side trying to lift up every time.
Do all engines spin the same way?
I believe it's everything except Honda's. But yeah, I reckon engine and gearbox mount.
Yeah. It's all adding up, Liam.
Yeah, you can go through and price all this, really
List
scare
is
yourself.
getting bigger. Yeah, the price is getting higher too. So while it's on the ground, I'm gonna just run it back and forth a couple times in the shed even, just to see if I can get down to hear that linkage sound. It's always when you want it to make the sound. It might be struggling to get the...
I think I may have cured it. You are cured. I have cured you.
Going shit dance here, better not make that noise. I might need to take Dan for a quick drive on the road. So we couldn't hear it just going back and forth in the shed there. It's always when you want to make the sound, it plays doesn't make it. But Dan's going to jump in co-part. We'll just go a quick spin up and down the road and see if I can make it do it. See that? You hear that?
Yeah.
That's the sound I'm talking about. And
Right.
I'll go back to second. That's it. That's it. So it's pretty loud.
Yeah, I'd say clutch. Sounds like when it unloads.
That's it.
Yep, yeah, I'd say clutch.
Clutch.
Sounds like could be the spline on the friction plate binding on the input shaft.
Yeah.
And then it's unloading, it's sort of like...
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Or those springs, like I said, the dampening springs, not dampening anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna shift, but then don't shift.
Yeah, did it.
Yeah. I'd say clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah. Well,
You'll know when you get the clutch.
exactly. And I've never done a clutch in this car, and I've
Yeah.
had it, you know, for four going on 5 years now.
It's
and,
done pretty well.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
done-
Yeah.
Considering it's a heavy car, big tyres,
Yeah.
a lot of off-road use.
Yeah.
It's done pretty good.
Well, Dan wasn't far off when he said the whole thing's going to be red.
You tried to get a bit of green in there just to balance
Oh,
it out.
look, you got... It's funny, like, the suspension, like, the thing people...
True.
This is all the poor stuff that gets neglected by maybe by me, but...
Well, none of
heater
it's fun.
hosing guys are interesting. Yeah,
It's
not
fun.
interesting.
Yeah,
Not fun
it's not
ones,
like-
are they?
It's always a thing of like, putting in a lift kit in your car is so easy because you want to see your car
Yeah.
higher and you want that,
Yeah.
you want the ride to be better and you want to have more flex, right?
Yeah.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, changing a wheel bearing's like, I
Nah.
change it and it's exactly the same. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly,
exciting,
yeah.
you know?
Because I'll do all this work, the car will look exactly the same
Yeah,
from
no
the
one will know.
outside. It won't make the noise, but it's like, yeah, exactly, that's the
There'll
thing.
be-
But yeah, that's essentially our list. I'll put a price here of what the estimate cost is going to be for
I'm
me to
keen
do
to see
this.
that.
Hope it's not too much.
Honestly.
but yeah, honestly, not too bad. Like, okay, like, yeah, it's bad, but it's like, it's all stuff that most four-wheel drives probably want to look at doing
And
anyway.
the positive spin is like, all right, your wheel bearings and your swivel hub rebuild, maybe there's not much, but you do the whole front axle in one, right? But your rear wheel bearings, maybe you chuck a locker in it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Try and do it all in
You can
in
group
groups.
them. Yeah, you can group a lot of these jobs into separate
Yeah.
ones. I think the one that's probably going to be scary is the leaks that we don't really know.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a whole nother...
I think, like I said, degrease it,
Deep
wash
dive.
it, you get an idea, and hopefully it's just your either your rocker cover or your intake gasket.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's maybe turbo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fun one. That could be a fun
yeah,
one.
it could be a fun one. Some power upgrades. All right, so that's the car all looked over by a qualified mechanic. So yeah, big thanks Dan for coming
worries,
around
mate.
and looking after it. Now obviously we've got a fair bit of work to do ahead of us, so make sure you get subscribed to see all that. But hopefully also you learn something from maybe going over on your own vehicle. You know, preventative maintenance is the best sort of maintenance you can do. So yeah, I got to get it through my stick head.
I
But,
also find this sort of stuff, familiarising yourself with what your car should look like
Yeah.
before you go out on a trip, means when there is a strange noise or a clunk and you're out there, you can just get under the car and see straight away what's not right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you give the video a like, get subscribed, and we'll see you all in the next episode.